Hey, I'm Ben Silverio, your infield correspondent for the Opinion City podcast, and we are here with the WWE ID Men's Champion, Cappuccino Jones.
Yes,
How you doing,
sir.
Cap?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Most excellent. So, first question, first and foremost, give me the tea. What's in the cup today?
What's in the cup? Man, so we got a caramel latte with an extra shot of espresso.
Okay.
Almond milk, as always.
Nice.
You know?
Very cool. So, now in a few weeks, when WrestleMania rolls around, it will mark 1 year since the beginning of the WWE ID Championship Tournament.
Yes, sir.
Now, as the winner and the inaugural champion, what does it mean to you to be the face of the WWE ID program?
It means a lot. You know, I wear this with a huge badge of honor. And, you know, I've had this title for 7 months now. Man, I remember just wanting to just give my all in the tournament. Of course, I wanted to win, but I wanted to just, take it one match at a time. And the fact that I've been here in this position, a lot of successful defenses. I've been to Europe. It's cool, man. It's almost surreal, but it feels right. It feels right. My confidence is at an all-time high, and heading into Mania Week this year, I mean, nothing's gonna change.
Very nice. But before that, you got to get through Starboy Charlie on the 23rd.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people are saying that might be your biggest obstacle to date. I mean, he has a lot of buzz around him. So what have you been doing differently to prepare for him in addition to all your other duties as champ?
I think it's pretty ironic that he's my biggest challenge yet, but isn't he like 4'11"? To me, I think he's actually the shortest. He's like a pup cup.
A little bit.
Yeah. I'm like a venti hot mocha latte. You know, he's a little sample size. But no, Starboy's great. I've wrestled him before.
Okay.
And I won. So, but, he's tough. And he does have a lot of buzz. He's very unpredictable. He's very dynamic. And, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to do what we always do. And we're just gonna ride.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, does the stipulation that comes with the ID title, the one where if they win the title and a contract, does that weigh on you extra hard, more so than any other championship?
Yes. Actually, yes. That's a great question. Because, granted, no one has been able to do that yet. But it's not just losing the title. I'm adding more competition. My goal is to make it to NXT, then make it to Raw, then make it to SmackDown, make it to the main event of WrestleMania, ultimately, the Hall of Fame, whole 9 yards. If I allow someone to beat me for this championship, not only do I lose this championship, but I add another competitor who wants all those same things. So it does weigh on me. But it wakes me up. It's like a shot of espresso, pun intended, because it just motivates me more. There's a lot more on the line. A lot more on the play. I can't. A lot more in the cup.
Of course.
I can't. There's too much at stake. Not only do I want to remain champion, but that spot's for me, and I don't want to add any more obstacles to it.
Right. So since the WWE ID program started, there's been a number of critics, including Team PC. So, we'll get to them in a minute. But what do you think are some of the biggest misconceptions about the WWE ID program?
The biggest misconceptions about the WWE ID program? Man, I don't know. Because you ask me, I really don't. No one has ever said anything to my face.
Sure.
People are online. Everyone has their opinion, the right to it. But I think the biggest misconception is that we are, I don't know, man. Like with the PC athletes, for example, they thought of us as just, we're from the indies. We don't deserve to be here in these spots. But, we're right now, this means we're at the top of the indies. I mean, being in the ID program is one thing. You're in a so many people on the indies, and you make that cut. It's not an easy cut to make.
Right.
When you have this, it means you're the cream, and you rose to the top.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, that's simply it. I think the biggest misconception is that this is not the top of the indies, but, I say otherwise.
For sure.
And the work proves it.
Absolutely. Now, in your plight against Team PC, you've gotten to know a lot of the WWE ID talent a lot more intimately. Going into battle with someone means more than just like meeting them in
For sure.
other ways,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, out of the WWE ID talent, who do you think is the most underrated?
Ooh. Good question. You're gonna get me in trouble. The most underrated. Man, I'm just thinking of all the talent. You know, there's so much new talent now, and you know, Mike Cunningham,
Oh yeah.
great guy. Just defended the title against him at Beyond
Mhm.
a couple of weeks ago. Man, yeah, that kid's good. He's
Oh,
good. You know, kind of throw you off because he does his dance. He does a whole lot of jester maxing and ore farming and all that nonsense. But yeah, he's not. He's really good. I mean, everybody. You know, like I think a lot of the newer class. You know, Jerrio Rivera just got ID'd. You know, It's Gall has been. You know, everyone's known him for a while.
Yeah.
But dude, It's Gall, man. He's so entertaining. I don't like the guy.
Sure.
You know, but when I'm not across the ring from him,
Mhm.
he does get a chuckle or two out of me.
What is it? The human action figure he goes by, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard him use that in a while.
I remember yelling peg warmer at him during WrestleMania week last year, and people were like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he's tan and jacked and ready to attack. Apparently,
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of great talent in the ID program, Aaron Rourke just made history by becoming
Yes.
the Evolve champion.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll go at him as hard as you went after Jackson Drake?
So, yes and no. Yes, because I do want that title. It is mine ultimately. Aaron just doesn't know it yet. But I have a lot more respect for Aaron than I do Jackson.
Right.
You know, Aaron's one of those guys I built a relationship with, fighting alongside against Team PC.
Exactly.
You know, Aaron. You know, I've tagged with him, against him. We've wrestled. I've defended this title against him. You know, so yeah, we've earned each other's respect. But at the end of the day, you know, we all want to be number one. We all want that spot. All the love in the world for Aaron. Congratulations to him. He's made history. And, you know, I'm so happy for him. And it's really cool to see that moment.
Yeah.
But, you know, when the time's right, you know, when the pot gets to that temperature, we're going to see. And Aaron just might get burned.
Oh, man. Speaking of people that you've tagged with, Adrenaline Drip.
Yes.
You know, Jack Cartwheel is busy off in AAA and other places.
Killing it.
Do you miss tagging with him? And
Of course.
Can we? Is there plans in the immediate future to reform Adrenaline Drip?
Never say never. You know, I can't say that you'll see it, you know, tomorrow or next month.
Yeah.
We're both, you know, I'm defending this title. You know, I've been dealing with a lot of PC stuff on Evolve, you know, my battle with Jackson Drake. I've had a lot on my plate, you know. And, you know, Jack's been in Mexico wrestling guys like Dragon Lee and La Parca. And, you know, I know, you know, we still keep in contact. And, you know, I'm watching him. He's watching me.
Yeah.
So, sure, you know, we tagged on the Indies not too long ago. But then that was our first time in a while.
Right.
But, you know, our schedules are so different. He's on, you know, he's in another country. But never say never. You know, when the time is right, definitely.
Right.
Always love to.
It's always good to have a friend out there,
Yeah.
you know, to have your back.
And that's Jack, also someone I went to war with to earn
Absolutely.
this, you know, so like it just builds our relationship that much more. You know?
So now, as part of the ID program,
Yeah.
you have a lot of access to some great wrestling minds.
Yeah.
There's the Evolve foreman Tim Thatcher
Yes.
as the player coach.
Yes.
But like, I remember seeing something about Sean Waltman also.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and there's everybody at the PC.
Yeah.
So who are some of the people that you've learned the biggest lessons from, and what were some of those lessons?
Let's be talking about Sean Waltman, X-Pac.
Yeah.
He's like one of my biggest mentors. Learned so much from him. Really, like, he's someone who really has taught me to just be myself, be an artist. You know, I'm an artist at heart. I think we all are. Wrestling's an art form at the end of the day. And he's really good about, you know, reminding me that it's just, you know, just be yourself and, you know, just be loose out there. And, you know, Booker T as well. I wrestle at Reality of Wrestling quite often. You know, I've had so many matches there. And Booker T has so many good, he's really good at the details, you know, and, you know, there's all these guys, Booker T, you know, X-Pac, it's no accident that they were stars for, you know, their whole careers.
Absolutely.
They were in the main events. They're, you know, DX, NWO, you know, all that stuff. So, yeah, I think off the top of my head, those two, but there's so many. I could go, I could go on for days.
Right.
All the great minds I have access to.
And I mean, you started your fandom of wrestling through video games.
Yeah.
Is it wild now that you can actually go to those people from the video games and be like, hey?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's something I'll like in the moment. You're kind of just doing it. You're like, cool, yeah. But then like you think back like the next day, like, wow, I really just had a conversation with so and so.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That's nuts. What would Cappuccino Jones say to that Cappuccino Jones back then to see where you've gone now? What advice would you give him to be like, this is what you need to get to where I am, kid?
I would tell him to, man, just remember to have fun. At the end of the day, we got to have fun.
Yes.
You got to remember this is an art form, like I said. Be an artist, be yourself, be loud, be unapologetic. And that's what I did, and that's what got me here.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, Cap, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I know you got to get ready for the match.
Yeah.
Can't wait to watch it right here.
Whoop Tommy Invincible. Yeah.
Yep.
Right here, clip this. If you're watching this, just know I whooped Tommy Invincible an hour later.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right.